Story time, story time. Oh, 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 it's story time. Story time, story time. Let's read a book!
Welcome to Storytime. Our first book today is going to be The Surprise in the Storybook by Sara Asheron. This book was written in 1963. I believe it was one of my parents, I got it from one of my parents. It was their favorite book when they were a child. They got it from their local library in Rice Lake, Wisconsin. So, The Surprise in the Storybook. There was once a house with a mouse in it, a little gray mouse. There was a boy in the house too, and a little girl, and a mother and a father. There was no cat in the house, thank goodness. There was a cat next door, but there was a bell on that cat. Sometimes the cat went to see the boy and the girl. Then the bell went tink tink, tink-a-link, tink tink. It was easy for the little mouse to keep away from that cat. Little Gray Mouse was very happy in the house. He liked the boy and the girl. He liked the good things the mother cooked. He liked his cozy little home in the wall. And then there was something he liked best of all. Best of all, he liked the bedtime story. Every night the father took out a big storybook with gay pictures, and every night he read a story to the boy and girl. Every night Little Gray Mouse came out of his home in the wall to hear the story. Sometimes the story was about clowns. Sometimes the story was about animals. Sometimes the story was about a prince and a princess. And sometimes the story was about boys and girls of long ago. Every morning, Little Gray Mouse thought about the story he would hear that night. Would it be the 3 little pigs? Would it be the little red hen? Would it be Cinderella? Little Gray Mouse liked them all. But it was hard to wait for bedtime stories. One morning, Little Gray Mouse said, "Maybe I can just peek at the pictures." And he ran into the room with the boy and girl, right to the storybook. What a good time he had. He's looking at all the pictures. He saw pictures of Cinderella. Oh, he knew that story. He saw pictures of the 3 little pigs. He knew that story. He saw pictures of the little red hen. He knew that story too. But then Little Gray Mouse stopped. What was this? It was a picture of 3 bears. A little bear, a medium-sized bear, and a big bear. There was a little girl in the picture too. See her? "I do not know this story," said the mouse. "Oh, I wish I could hear it. I hope the father reads this story tonight." But that night, the boy wanted to hear Cinderella again. And the next night, the little girl wanted to hear the 3 little pigs again. Little Gray Mouse thought he would never hear the story he wanted. Then one night, the father took out the storybook and began to read. Once there were 3 bears. "That's it," thought Little Gray Mouse. "That's my story." And he sat very, very still. The bears in the story went for a walk. The little girl saw the bear's house in the woods. She did not know it was the bear's house, so she went in. But now the bears were coming back. "Oh my," thought the mouse. "What will they do now?" He just could not wait to find out. Tink, tink, tink-a-tink, tink, tink. It was the cat next door. He was coming into the house. As fast as the bell went tink, Little Gray Mouse ran back into his home in the wall. The little mouse sat in his cozy little mouse house till the cat went home. Then he ran out. He could not wait to hear the rest of the story. But the boy and girl were asleep? The story was over? "Oh dear," said the mouse. What did the 3 bears do next? What did the little girl do next? He just had to find out. So the next night, Little Gray Mouse ran into the room and sat very still. He could not wait to hear all about the 3 bears. But the father did not read the 3 little bears. He read Cinderella. "Oh dear," said the mouse. The next night he ran into the room again and sat very still. He wanted to hear the rest of the story of the 3 bears, but the father read the little red hen. "Oh dear," said the mouse again. The next morning he ran over to the storybook. He looked and looked at the pictures of the three bears. What did the little girl do in the bear's house? And what did the bears do next? I must find out, said Little Gray Mouse. I must. He looked around the room. He saw blocks and a ball and a train and a doll and a truck and a dollhouse. Then he saw a ribbon, a bright red ribbon. I know what I can do, said Little Gray Mouse. He was so happy he jumped up and down on the storybook. The next night, the father took out the big storybook. He saw the red ribbon. Look, he said to the girl, here's your ribbon. I didn't put it in there, said the little girl. I didn't put it in there, said the little boy. What was the father going to do? Would he read Cinderella again? Would he read The Three Little Pigs? Would he read a story about a clown or a prince? The little mouse could not wait to find out. Well, said the father, the ribbon is right at the story of the three little bears, so that is the story I will read. No one looked around in the room. No one saw Little Gray Mouse, but there he sat very, very still and very, very happy. Now, at least, he was going to find out what the three bears did next. Surprise in the storybook.
Story time, story time. Oh, 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 it's story time. Story time, story time. Let's read a book!